And hello, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today is day 2 of Group B here of the PEL Contenders.
Hell yeah.
My name is Max, and I'm going to be joined, as always, with my good boy Imperium here on my left. We had an awesome self-surprises yesterday for only the first day of Group B, and there's a lot more coming our way.
Yeah, of course. I saw 2 Erangel, 1 Miramar, 1 Sanhook came up for our starting of Group B, as I said. Yeah, very even overall between the top of the table. We're going to see the standings in a sec. Few players and few teams stood out. Most notably, Red Fox, who lie in 3rd place, 33 points over 4 games. But those 33 points came in the first 3 games, which was unfortunate in Sanhook. They ended up getting 0 points. But we see MJ-Esports occupying the top of the table on 38 points.
Not a big surprise. MJ-Esports always being one of the most aggressive teams in all of this first day yesterday. Just always in most of the fights from the early to the late game stage. And also, MJ-Esports are going to be the nightmare of Team Unique once again today, I expect. They're just taking them out every single day.
They have.
So Team Unique, the team actually started off like really bad on the first few games, but actually they caught back up and they got barely back in the top 8. So Team Unique, I think they got that train and that ball rolling in the first 2 games there, and now they get a little bit more confident.
That's the thing, like they're on 22 points, Team Unique, but 21 of those points came for that chicken dinner in Miramar.
Exactly.
So whereas the other 2 games, they saw 1 Miramar, 1 Sanhook, they came out with 0 points, and then the first Miramar game, they only got 1 point for their side. Another team that has unfortunately had, in my opinion, one of the roughest starts I've seen in any kind of tournament is Tempest. Unfortunately, 2 points in the first 4 games, and that only came from 1 game, so 3 points. 0 points from 3 games. It's not a good start, but we know they can do better. We know they have huge potential, amazing individual talent on the side of Tempest. Get that day out of the way. It didn't happen. Come back stronger today, reset, refresh yourselves, and just really show them that you're far from out of it.
Let's hope they can keep a nice mindset for this day 2 here of this 3rd phase. Over to the head-to-head info of MJ-Esports and Northern Lights. 2 teams that's been pretty dominant once again in every single game we've seen so far. And you can see the 20-20 kills over the course of only 4 games. That's a nice kill ratio.
And out of the 20 MJ-Esports kills, 11 of them have been from Juno alone. 11 of those kills. So that's over half of their team kills from 1 player. Stood out absolutely fantastically as a player. And actually similar with Perfectix on the side of Northern Lights. 9 of the 20 kills has come from him alone. So we look then, this is the kill side of things. Hugstar from Airstation Mike dominating with 12, as I said, Juno and 11. And Laza from Istanbul Wildcats in 3rd with 9.
Yeah, all the teams you see, all the players you see up here, they're going to be in the top positioning teams. Actually, Artix from BetterLuckNxTime, a team that's not all that high, in the overall standings, actually doing a nice splash in the first day.
Well, that's because with regards to BetterLuckNxTime, out of 19 points they have, 18 of them have been kill points, only 1 placement point. But hey, look, that's why kill points can be such an impact for your team. So we then look at the damage leaders. Juno, not surprised, dominating along with Perfectix, and then Metabay on the side of Red Foxes.
I think these are like the 3 players we're going to see consistently on the top of the board over the course of these next 3 days.
I got to point out Laza from Istanbul Wildcats. The standout moment for me was in Miramar when he took out the whole of 4 kings, pretty much. And it kind of, as I said at the time, I don't think it should have happened, but when you get given the opportunity and you can expose a team like that, and Laza, it clicked in place for him, and he got the job done for his team.
If you did unfortunately miss out, how does the PL work out? Here it is, the point. They work out like this. 1st position, chicken dinner, worth 10 points. All trickles down to 8th position where you get 1 point. Then big fat bubble once again from 9th to 16th position. 1 kill equal 1 point. That has came really in action yesterday. We all saw that. It
kind of has, but compared to, let's say, trying to compare a little bit to Group A, the top 3 teams have been very similar after day 1 of Group B between placements and kill points. For example, like you look at MJ, they've got 38 points in total. 18 of them have been placement points. 20 of them have been kill points. Compared to when we saw from Tornado Energy, out of their first day, they had like double the kill points as they had placement points. So it is a lot closer.
As you see the schedule for the day, 4 matches coming your way. We're going to kick off the day with Erangel. As always, feels good, man. Then followed up with 2 Miramar games. Yesterday's Miramar game was absolutely mental, taken over by Team Unique. Going to see if they can try and step it up once again on the desert map. And then finishing off the day, as always, with Sanhook I think teams, you can see a few teams struggling a little bit with Sanhook yesterday, and I think that now they're slowly getting that ball rolling, getting used to it, seeing where teams are going to rotate, and they can try and anticipate their rotations just a little bit more.
Yeah, of course. As I said, even though a lot of the players don't seem to be in favour of Sanhook, of course, there's nothing they can do about it. They just have to make the best of the situation. They're going to adapt to it as much as possible. Overall, I don't think the meta will heavily change. They just have to be a lot more aware and, of course, a little bit more fast-paced with their rotations as a team compared to the likes of Erangel and Miramar, where you can kind of hold the compound or you can kind of stay in that area for a longer amount of time with Sanhook. Circle moves in quicker, it shrinks smaller overall, like especially because it's a smaller map and you just have to find yourselves moving into the zone as quickly as possible.
You do suffer those rotations a little bit more. Enough. We're talking about Sanhook. Now we're going to go over to Erangel. It's going to be the first game of the day. Yesterday, Sanhook was taken over, the first chicken dinner, by Istanbul Wildcats. Great positioning overall on that last game. They had a really nice location towards the likes of Quarry. Those Quarry rotations, I was really not expecting it. It was the first time to actually see that such a Quarry rotation focused shift of the circle.
Yeah.
And it's really nice to see how these teams reacted to it, especially the likes of MJ. I think that positioning there was so on top.
Well, it's funny because I got a little bit of advice about kind of Quarry because I wasn't really sure as far how these teams kind of like to play around Quarry if it's in the circle. And I was kind of told that with Quarry, when it's featured in the first couple of circles, the north and the south side of it is pretty easy to hold on to begin with. And we saw that from Team MOOPHEUS. They had a 2-2 split in phase 2 of that circle, where 2 was up the north, 2 were down south. But then as it gets later on in the game, it is harder to hold on to because you have teams kind of crashing in. And then if you do need to go downhill outside of...
It's tricky.
It's very tricky because you can find yourself easily exposed. So Quarry, it's a really interesting part to be occupied within the circle. Hopefully we'll have more of a central circle in the Erangel map, but who knows, it can go north, south, east, west, anywhere.
Or another southwest circle. I hope not. I hope we're not going to have another game like that. Just a little bit more central, maybe a little bit more Pachinki, Potato Hill focused game. I'll be very interested. But enough of the talking. Here we are. The drop is coming on through. It was a plane that's actually really focused towards the south. So George Pole going to be pretty far out of reach for some of these teams. So we saw like 2-3 teams liking to go for that rotation. It's still pretty much in reach if you do drop, get to those car drops and actually try and rotate over there. But might have a few teams actually going for the coastline. A few teams did like to go also for Fiery Pier. That's going to be 4 Kings as always, going for Primorsk. Not surprised right there. Also, no tack team for the likes of Fiery Pier, just on the coastline. Very safe early looting phase. Can't really get harassed by any teams or taken over. And they know they dropped there, so if you can avoid that team early on, definitely try and do so.
Yeah, a couple of teams, huge potential in Team Unique, heading into Military Island towards a base area of that kind of small bit of land. We do see BetterLuckNxTime on the coastline as well. As you point out, no tag team, but quite a good few teams heading towards the north side of this plane trajectory. MJ-Esports, Team MOOPHEUS, Brute Force, of course, ELGIGANTEN. Interesting where they're going to kind of head up. Definitely think Milta Power Plant would be a decent place, or even Red Fox in Milta would be definitely a solid place. In Lipovka, which ELGIGANTEN seem to be heading towards, is always a solid spot to land up on.
ELGIGANTEN, always a team that loves to play on the edge of the circle, and they're very, oh my god, that's perfect for ELGIGANTEN. There you go, just got to hold Lipovka for as long as you possibly can. But I talked about that earlier, when ELGIGANTEN, they played very, very passive on their first few games, and then they just flipped a switch, played super aggressive, like they tried to apply pressure on teams rotating and trying to really dominate a bigger area and trying to stop rotations coming on through. And that was way more fitting of their playstyle, and that's their best performance so far in yesterday's games. So I hope to see if ELGIGANTEN can try and reset these and also reproduce that kind of success on this first game of the day on Erangel.
Hell yeah, indeed. As you kind of mentioned earlier on, Team Unique, they did seem to just get into hassle with MJ-Esports for a couple of games. They did get the chicken dinner on Miramar, as I said, so they would like to repeat that, not only in potentially Miramar, but even in Erangel to kickstart, once again, their Phase 3 journey to try to get into the top 8, to make it through to the final stages of Contenders. Because, hey, look, all these teams, they want to get into the PEL League. They want to even keep their Contender spot. They just want to do the best they can in this league. One team that I'm very impressed with yesterday, Maxon, was Red Foxes. Stunning performances throughout these games that we saw yesterday. I was talking to Medabay, one of the standout players for his side, as well as the whole team. Had a couple of words, wanted to gather his thoughts on a great first day. And he said that basically, they all have individual fantastic talents. And they were able to utilize those yesterday, and it resulted in some great performances, as we saw. And what has helped them so far is the fact that they haven't got a lot of kind of experience, or they haven't played so many games in this level of gameplay in competitive. So the teams don't actually know them that well, and they can't really predict what they're going to do. So they were a bit of a surprise attack for these teams, and they took advantage of it. So they're really hoping to repeat it today. I'm sure they'll be aware that the teams around them will have looked at how they rotated in yesterday's games, and then might be able to learn to shut that down. So they definitely want to be on their toes.
Yeah, if you see the team just starts with a bang on that first day, like, okay, I might do a little bit more research, trying to see what this is all up to. So I think the teams definitely try and pull that off. Talking about Red Foxes, they did drop towards Milta. Going to try and rotate a little bit more towards the center point to try and get a good position to defend. I don't think they're really interested in gatekeeping.
Well, yeah, but above Milder, you have the high ground, so it's a good spot to hold on to.
Yeah, just to avoid rotating teams getting there and then trying to gatekeep them away from the next phase. That's going to be great as we go on over to Tempest. We talked about it earlier, Imperium, the team that's now in last position with only 2 points in 4 games. Not looking great for that first performance. Maybe they just needed one day to get on through. Let's hope they can try and have some good games this time.
You know what? I'm not worried. I know what they have. I know the talent. I'm sure they'll pull in some fantastic performances in day 2. And redeem themselves heavily and shows all what they are made of, as we do see Team MOOPHEUS driving on through, split vehicles, nothing unusual there, as they are kind of sticking close by to each other as well. So a lot of these teams, about 6 or 7 teams, are heading towards the center of the circle. Tempest are a bit split up. I would be kind of worried about that, but it's kind of similar with like Brute Force, Team MOOPHEUS, even Northern Lights as well. So they are generally all split up. Even ELGIGANTEN, they're in a bit of a 2-2 split. So nobody really other than Airstation Mike are a full squad in the center of the circle.
Yeah, you're going to have to try and get all your forces back together. Team Joker's actually very high up north on the circle. They're going to be just chill, and they can just try and also have a nice rotation. They have Yaz and Apollyon are pretty close by for some teams, such as Istanbul, if they want to try and set that as their home base. ELGIGANTEN, once again, one of the better positionings in this first game. Really central, no need to rotate. There it is, a fight coming on through. There's going to be Team MOOPHEUS, Northern Lights. Northern Lights deep, going to be quite out of position on zone in that car, but it seemed like they're not going to fight because actually they have a few shots on the side, and ELGIGANTEN going to also take a few shots on top of deep. He does have one shack to work with. Does find security just in there, but a lot of teams around him with this open area. That car is surely going to explode, as I say, that taken out. Now Deep is in a really sticky situation.
He is in a bit of a sticky situation, but Team MOOPHEUS can't actually push onto him because there was ELGIGANTEN in the distance firing shots over towards Deep from Northern Lights. And I'm pretty surprised that Deep didn't actually take any damage from the shots. It's just a vehicle that was taking the brunt of it, and that's why he had to exit it by that shack before it eventually did blow up. But better luck next time. 4-man squad holding the high ground on the edge of the circle. So they could look to do a little bit of gatekeeping, but teams, they tend not to really often go into the circle from the center at this stage. If they would have done that, they would have done it already earlier on. So better luck next time. Have a bit of an open end, high ground, good position.
Yeah, definitely could try and do something against those rotations. Also, another team, actually Team Unique, they finally rotated away. They got away, didn't get gatekeeped. Another team that's not too far is No Tag Team. They might get a little bit close, but I think they're still going to try and avoid. They got a lot of room in the southern section to try and set up as their main camp. Where it is, Istanbul Wildcats going to be clashing with Brute Force. One headshot on top of BS. Oh, BSD! He knew the car was going to explode. He didn't really have a choice, otherwise he would have got instantly flushed. He had to get out, but it's still not going to work out for him. BSD might be the first casualty on his team here. Seem like Brute Force, they are coming through to try and flush it out. There you go.
I don't know if he could have slowed the car down and got out of it.
He tried it, but it was too late.
Yeah, too late, and he does get taken out. It's not the worst thing in the world for Istanbul Wildcats, and they're going to be down to 3 players. It's still early days only. less than 8 minutes in, and that is a bit of a risk of rotating in at this stage of the first phase. It's just a good thing that they were in multiple vehicles, right? And there was only one player in that vehicle, so there was only one casualty of Jokers, the Tab. Also taking shots onto Genzo from Istanbul Wildcats. So they're getting away, they're surviving against those shots as the Mini 14 bullets fly on through.
Yeah, okay, that big flip, nicely done. Genzo gets back to Laza. Yeah, 6 out of 10. That's just fine. I'll give it a good old 7. But they're going to find their own little cube compound. Same with ELGIGANTEN at the top there. Apocalypse going to get back too. Finally, they got their own location together. That was like smart for them to try and get under their location. But though, MJ also, man, brute force. They're finding a lot of team rotating, but can't get quite much out of it. Just got 1 kill earlier. MJ. Oh, what the? Oh,
I think that was the wheel shut off, so it kind of spun around and you had to exit that. Either that or he did a handbrake turn. As we do see Jazza from MJ-Esports looking to heal himself up. As we saw, the vehicle did end up getting blown out. Smoke grenade then just keeping Ojala in a bit of a safer situation, as now all of these teams, well, we're in phase 1 circle, but now this phase 2 circle shifted down south. It has gone more into mainland, but still about 30% is occupied by water. Lipovka, prominent area, Milta power plant, even the edge of Milta, but then again, there's the fields on the edge of Milta, so it's going to be risky. It's kind of prison outside of prison. That high ground would be a solid spot to hold on to, but these teams just holding on to the compounds that they're in for now.
Yeah, rotations between the likes of Mansion and Prison can get a little bit tricky, as that high ground can just really good angle of fight for most of these teams. Huge potential. They did finally get out. They're one of the latest teams to actually get in the circle. They're not quite in the circle right now when you check it out, because it's still not too much room if they go directly in. They might want to try and get a little bit down south to try and find a better location to work with, as the phase is slowly closing up. 40 seconds remaining before the phase is closed and starts shutting down on these teams. Got to keep that in mind. Also, 4 Kings rotating up north. If you want to check out actually the map stream, exclamation point mapping stream, you have your dedicated PEL stream where you can actually see where all your teams are located.
And did you see GRISHKAPOWER on the side of 4 Kings? They get knocked down from the side of Jokers, as the boom is going to look to fly on through and to secure that kill point for his side. He does go by the side of the tree just to kind of make sure. Maybe they weren't fully aware where the rest of the 4 Kings side were, so it's always a little bit risky going in on your own for that kill, but they obviously must have done a relevant amount of scouting, scoping around to make sure that they were safe to go for that frag. As PG-18, not the best start to yesterday's games, currently lying in 15th place overall with a total of 13 points. Again, it's only day 1. They're still kind of close to the top 8. You know, less than 10 points, so nothing really crazy. Yeah,
PG-18, one of my favorite teams. I have to flex it out, and I do believe in them to try and come back. You can have a bad day, it happens sometimes, so PG-18, all eyes are on you right now. Moves, we talked about it earlier, Prison, high ground going to be very valuable, and they're picking a fight right there, but another fight that's coming on through is actually PG-18. And Brute Force, they're seeing so many teams, and they don't need to rotate. I think they have one of the better compounds right now that can try and actually gatekeep some areas, but not too much. PG-18 still going to continue their little road, getting back together with Diaz.
If you did kind of miss yesterday's action, firstly, where the hell were you? But you're kind of not exactly sure maybe what might have changed in the rosters or the teams. Even we saw the likes of PG-18, they took on 2 new players. That was Recurrent and the Wanderer, so 2 new members to the team. The likes of Brute Force, they were rebranded from Airwaves. And there was a host of other changes, like Jokers. They took over the spot of Winside Esports. So they're a new roster and looking to make waves through on this phase 3.
Talking about Jokers, here we go. Going to be losing Moon. Unfortunately, that was a nice storm coming out from MJ-Esports. And having this compound for themselves right now, pretty high up north. And actually, the best of Jokers, they are not rotating in the tab and set and the boom. Very split away, as they usually do. But they are not too close to many teams, so they should be fine. But still, they couldn't do much against that storm. As a team, actually, Team Unique, they're going to be clashing a little bit with No Tag Team in the southern section of the circle. Seem like this will be going even Stevens right now.
Yeah, great. Actually, I do like the position the Team Unique hold on to, because it's a dip. They have great protection from the kind of the west side of the circle. They only have to look towards kind of north and the south. They hold a really good position as a 2-man strong team. It's a 2-2 split right now. There's no tag team looking for them right now. As this circle shift, it did go this phase 3, went more inland. It's a lot central. Prison and kind of the hill above Milta is very prominent and still very much an area that can be occupied.
Yeah, you talked about it earlier. Now, because it's even more central and that's going to be even more valuable where it is. Blast on, unfortunately, 4King is going to lose another member against the members of Brute Force. AmerouuS and Maken going to have to try and shift back. They do have a compound in the distance. It's not quite in circle, so they might still try and look ahead a little bit more for a better area to call home. So they try and be a little bit more ahead. MJ also a little bit farther back. Northern Lights, they are very central, but they don't have a compound, just a little bit of terrain to work with. And you have actually 2 teams that have an angle. Brute Force a little bit further back. Tempest still going to try and slow down their rotation. They don't need to really move, but being in an open area like this for a long amount of time can get scary on the long term.
I'm sure they're just confident of their position, to be perfectly honest. Very experienced team. Very competent, a lot of individual talent. Ready to get the job done. Don't mind exposing themselves in a bit of a risky position, as they know they can take advantage of it should they be given the chance. It's better luck next time. Arctic's holding on to the shelter, entrance of the shelter right now. It's a good spot to hold on to as well. I do like it.
I think it's a pretty good area because mainly with that open area all around them is just a nice angle of view. A few teams going to try and steal rotate. I can see Joker's the boom actually. He's on his own now. G-Pan on over. Here you go. He's going to be split away from the tab and set that still towards Lipovka.
Fine.
So he's just got to be careful because they are Team Unique. Just doesn't get, as I say, they just get scouted. Now he knows he's got the information. That's completely fine. Just stay low for just a little bit before your team does come in to help him out.
Yeah, he's going to be able to pass it on to the rest of his team. So in that case, I don't directly mind that situation, but we do see Red Foxes moving their way down through the south part of the circle, potentially connecting onto the side of Jokers. As we did see Metabay getting the knockdown and then the frag being secured by Jevlez, but Metabay being put down to 30 health, having to throw a smoke grenade out. It was the boom from a distance, I believe. No, actually set. My apologies from Jokers, taking a couple of shots off outside that warehouse.
Yeah, because they did feed the information earlier, so they got 2 nice angles, but still the boom and set. They're in a bad spot in a 1-1 split against the likes of Red Foxes and Team Unique. They are on the edge of the circle, so still they've just got to take care of that, but still to get back together might get a little bit tricky.
True, but it's always a bit riskier to try to get back together. They've just got to hold on to where they're standing to. As you see Apocalypse being spotted by HalloSenpai. You find the action, you take the kill. Great play coming out from HalloSenpai on the side of Brute Force.
High ground, there you go. That rotation a little bit denied. Istanbul Wildcats going to have Genzo and Laza going to try and lurk on through. We've got to try and keep that in mind just a little bit as Brute Force HalloSenpai is going to maybe get caught out on his own. He didn't flush out Apocalypse, so this is giving an opportunity for Laza and Genzo to try and get that kill, maybe get in if they can, but they have to do it fast because now they have the information. They know that HalloSenpai is there, got the information flood over to them.
True, but they are kind of, we do have their, no, you just peaked a little bit too much, unfortunately, HalloSenpai, but the rest of both Istanbul Wildcats, and we do see 2 other members, AmerouuS and Maken on the side of Brute Force joining in on the fun. Laza, one of the top fraggers, it's Genzo does knock out AmerouuS, and now Maken is knocked down by Laza. So this could be Brute Force find themselves being the first team being wiped out if they're not too careful. Although Hawk is still standing, but is also taking shots from one member of Istanbul Wildcats. I believe that was Genzo. We did see Apocalypse lose his life, so that's 1 kill point going over to the side of Brute Force.
Yeah, talking about Brute Force, they're still going to have deep. Hawk, just very far away. Going to get taken over by Northern Lights. Talked about their positioning earlier. Seemed like they made it out just fine. So once again, they are confident with their positioning and they're holding it like an absolute bunch of bosses.
That's because we did see the phase 4 circle shift down northwards, more towards prison and the hill on top and a set of compounds on top of, above Milta, should I say. And just outside shelter is inside the circle, as we do see 4 Kings, the first squad eliminated by Cleve on the side of Tempest. So Tempest picking up the pace, picking up on their form, getting the first squad wipe.
This is the Tempest we are looking for. Let's hope they can follow on through with that first action.
Yeah, exactly.
Though MJ in that shack. One grenade, once again, is always all you need. So let's hope that they didn't get the information over to Northern Lights, but I'm pretty sure they do know Istanbul Wildcats. They got in prison. That high ground can be a little bit scary if it does shift away from that location. They've got to try and keep that in mind, as a few teams did call that high ground their location, mainly Airstation Mike and Team MOOPHEUS, so they can try and a little bit dictate these next rotations in this next phase.
Yeah, it's going to be tricky because if you occupy the compounds of prison, it's great protection because you're inside and you know you're well protected, but it can always be a little bit tricky. As Recurrent on the side of PG-18 did secure one knockdown, not quite the frag on Dalrain from huge potential. As the Wanderer is now going to throw that smoke out, looking for EHOT on the side of huge potential. Dodge, duck, dip, diving and dodging behind that rock, peeking his way through, but doesn't look behind as PG-18 do get eliminated from the side of huge potential. Great team play coming out from huge potential in the start of this first game of the day, and we will see Grinhawk being able to revive Ariane, which is really important to keep them up as a full squad.
Yeah, back up to full forces. Tempest, they had a decent fight earlier against 4 Kings, but now they have to rotate inland. They have to also cross not only the zone, but a road. Red Foxes and ELGIGANTEN, they both have the information on that team, and I think this might be the end of their story, as Wookie Bookie going to be the last member on his side. He's down pretty low, and one more shot will be coming out, and it actually will be the blue zone taking it out. So no extra points given over, but still Tempest out in now 14th position. Actually 13th position.
13th position now, as we did see phase 5 circle shift head up towards prison. Is this going to be a prison finish? I don't think I've ever seen a prison finish in any kind of... Personally, I haven't casted any kind of prison finish in competitive PUBG, so it's going to be really interesting to see how these teams play that location, play the high ground on around prison or even the compounds within prison. But either way, we do see BetterLuckNxTime. Fate getting 2 knockdowns on the side of Grinhawk and Alrian over on huge potential, leaving Zolters and he out on their own as the grenades start being flown out from the side of BetterLuckNxTime as they keep themselves as a full team because they are outside circle, so they want to get that squad wipe and then give themselves a bit of a more open chance to get into circle. We do see MJ-Esports being eliminated in 12th place, down to 11 teams, 35 players left alive as the frags get secured from BetterLuckNxTime.
BetterLuckNxTime still to a 4-man team. Be careful, EHOT still in the back. He should be able to res back up. The circle will be on top of him. It's going to be phase 5, so a little bit more tick damage than you are expecting. Going to try and pull the trigger at some point against those members. Here it is though. Red Foxes, their rotation will be stopped by the side of Team Unique. Team Unique going to have PVVM getting closer a little bit. Grenades will be flying back and forth. The high ground is kind of going over. And also the terrain for Team Unique is really good for this fight against the likes of Red Foxes. And Red Foxes, here it is, going to be losing Freenop, Jevless. And that's going to be them out of the picture in now 11th position.
Picture Team Unique making a good start to this game. Still going as a 4-man strong team. 2 out of 4 of them are in the circle. Well, now it's 3 onto 4 as Team MOOPHEUS. They hold the center of the circle, the hill above prison and around area, but they are in a bit of a 2-2 split, if I'm not mistaken. No, they're actually a 3-man team, so it's 2-1 split. It's huge potential, eliminated in 10th place. No tag team. Nailov got knocked down, but O'Connell and Give It there to try and get that res up, but they've got to be careful because Team Unique are right near them on the edge of the circle. And you also have even BetterLuckNxTime, but they're going up against Airstation Mike right now.
Yeah, they're going to try and make it down this hill away because I'm pretty sure the circle's going to rotate away from them, so they try and keep that in mind. Airstation Mike, pretty close quarters. Kissick going to try and get a little bit closer to Fate there on the little bit of a coastline here of the side of prison. They're getting closer, and a few teams actually from Team MOOPHEUS might find an angle on them, but here it is, Airstation Mike. They're trying to actually pull off the offensive. They're slowly pushing upwards as the next phase will be coming on through here. It is going to be rotating a little bit away towards prison.
We also saw a set on the side of Jokers, being a bit of a 1-man army on the side of Team Unique, putting them under a bit of pressure and not quite squad wiped. But now, BetterLuckNxTime, Fate. Proning down in behind the dip. Kizik is now gone behind the team. Yes, Unique are eliminated with the help from ELGIGANTEN, although no tag team are now taking out Jokers. So that's Jokers eliminated in 8th place. We have 7 teams left, 22 players left alive. This phase 6 still occupied by prison, but more the northern side or the easterly side of the prison. So kind of the hill that Airstation, Mike, and BetterLuckNxTime are occupied will have to kind of move their way around. They don't want to go down the hill into the prison compound because that is exposing themselves, so they're going to go around it as much as possible. That's exactly what Airstation, Mike have done as O'Connell from No Tag Team looking for those mini 14 shots on the Faultlessly over on the side of BetterLuckNxTime.
They're going for the southern rotation of down the section of prison. They're going to get very close to No Tag Team. Seems like No Tag Team, they have a really good position, a bunch of rocks to go through. They can actually just peek and fire pretty easily. So BetterLuckNxTime, actually that rotation from Yannick, good job. And he hasn't got scouted out whatsoever. He doesn't have the information. Nice few shots will be coming on through. Where's that Scar? Here it is, but doesn't connect any bullets. Unfortunately, so unfortunate. Grenade will be coming on through. Not cooked up whatsoever, just in case, just to try and push them back a little bit. They do see it. Oh, there it is. Faultlessly going to be knocked first. Same with Kissick. And actually, their one member is going to go down and completely abandon the ship.
Hey, look, I'm out of here, boys. I'm throwing myself off that hill and hope for the best. He has survived for now, but that's going to be 2 kills secured over on the side of the No Tag Team. Great rotation that came in from Yannick. The Scar shots didn't connect, but he reacted really well by instantly going over onto the grenades, because knowing he would have exposed himself, backpedaled a little bit, threw the 2 grenades out, and is still connected over onto the side of BetterLuckNxTime. Yeah,
they're going to be surviving longer, so that is great for them, despite losing 2 of their extra members. ELGIGANTEN, they finally rotated away from their compound on the eastern side, now doing a 2-2 split. I think it's great just to apply pressure on the rotation, mainly from No Tag Team.
As you do see, Airstation, Mike, No Tag Team, and ELGIGANTEN that we are looking over onto. The only 3 teams that have a full squad up. Team MOOPHEUS, who've stayed in the center, stayed in prison for pretty much the majority of this game, have 3 men up. As now, Double gets knocked down from Gibbet. Great bolt action shots coming out from No Tag Team.
No Tag Team, they're still going to have to try and rotate. They still have the 4-man team, so that's going to be great for them to try and rotate a little bit against the forces of ELGIGANTEN. Talking about ELGIGANTEN actually going up against MOOPHEUS. Double going to be knocked away. You're going to have 2 members still remaining pretty close quarters. Another one just a little bit further away. That's going to be KnorkiS. Kejaran, the one, the man, the myth, the legend, that did an absolute awesome 1v4. Didn't quite get the last kill, but against Northern Lights, but still he got 3 members down on his own. That was absolute mental. KnorkiS, as I said, a little bit split, a little bit higher up north. Might be finding the members of Northern Lights. Okay, bro, going to be very split. Finds a nice few shots with that mini. Here it is. Does get the knock with that headshot. Nicely done. Going to go back to the safety of his team, or is he going to go and pick for another fight with MOOPHEUS? Going to be out in 7th position, 6 teams remaining.
ELGIGANTEN taking over the former roster of Powerful, who did such a good job in the promotional phase, Contenders promotional phase of Phase 2, and they're looking to repeat their process here in Phase 3, as we do see Istanbul Wildcats Laza. As I said, standout player from yesterday's games, climbing on top of the frag board, driving his team forward, going up against the likes of Airstation Mike, peeking behind, gets a pre-fire shot on, and the first knockdown comes down onto fake, and is going to secure the frag. But O'Connell for No Tag Team actually took it away. Feels bad, man, for Laza, but he is keeping his dream alive at least. As now he's got to turn his attention onto ToWzErA. I think ToWzErA is outside the warehouse, or he's inside the... No, he's inside the warehouse. He's inside the warehouse. Dodging behind those barrels. Who's going to peek first? Who's going to get the best pre-firing on? Flashbang is going to be thrown at, or is that going to be a smoke grenade from ToWzErA? Oh, great shots coming out from ToWzErA. Puts Laza down to 14 health. He has to try and get that med kit off. There was indeed a smoke grenade, so now ToWzErA is going to be able to dance around that. It does go in between the barrels and those boxes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he didn't have the information. He's probably going to go for the same strat. Oh, no. Northern Lights, he finds an awesome shot through that window.
Wow.
And does take him out. I did not expect that at all. Nice. Northern Lights going to get an extra kill. The grenade coming on through from ELGIGANTEN doesn't quite connect.
And a good thing for ToWzErA is that's actually going to put him on alert. That's going to kind of say to him, okay, I don't really want to loot this box unless I maybe throw a smoke grenade, and even if I do, I'm going to want to be very careful. But it does keep himself alive. He's the final member of Airstation Mike, going strong. You also have only 1 member of BetterLuckNxTime still going, Fate. Can he play the angle of Fate and get his team into a situation where he can possibly take this chicken dinner on the first game of the day, all the while No Tag Team, the only team with the full squad up, Max.
And also they have a really good position.
They do.
Going to be a little bit the front line. ELGIGANTEN actually going down in the center of prison, just maybe expecting a rotation to the very center there instead of being on the side of prison. That's going to be great for them. But yeah.
And that's the thing. You either make the choice to go into the compound or to try to breach the high ground, and it's something that ELGIGANTEN seem to actually be going in possibly a bit of a 2v1 split. No, they seem to be going towards the edge of the high ground. Airstation Mike, ToWzErA has to stay in the compound. He can't make his way through. Same with OK Bro on the side of Northern Lights and Spyro. They've got to stay in the compound.
Yeah, as they can see that they're busy, a rotation comes on through from Northern Lights to get to the compound of Prison.
Actually, Northern Lights are actually...
That's great.
No, they're rotating into Circle fantastically. Yeah, but now ToWzErA... Does he know ToWzErA is there? That's one thing that is going to be very interesting. We might find out very quickly, as still no tag team going up against ELGIGANTEN. Great shots by Nailup in between the smokes.
Yeah, they're going to have to try and get in circle because ELGIGANTEN, the E team, is not actually in circle, so they're going to have to pass this rotation in this late game. 2 nice shots connect on top of MOORPHEUS. MOORPHEUS almost taken down, but doesn't quite. Same for KnorkiS. But Yannick, once again, that position on the side just gets 2 perfect angles. Those trees will not give you 100% coverage. But they do, unfortunately, lose that one member earlier in 5th position.
Yeah, so we're down to 4 teams. We did lose ToWzErA and Airstation Mike as a squad. 10 players left going strong. No tag team, full squad. 2 members of Northern Lights, 3 members of ELGIGANTEN. And the final member of BetterLuckNxTime is Fate. He's in that compound on the very edge of that cliff. It is inside circle, although it's the final phase. So who's going to come out on top? No tag team. They do have the man advantage, which should give them optimal position, as great shots come out from O'Connell through the window of that compound that Northern Lights hold on to, as the smoke grenades are going to start flying out. Shot after shot, damage after damage, but he's still going strong. ghostar on the side of ELGIGANTEN does get knocked out and fragged out from Give It.
Yeah, no tag team. They're just shutting down the entirety of ELGIGANTEN. Out in 4th position, only 3 teams remaining, and still that last member of BetterLuckNxTime is going to be lurking in the shadows of this game. Northern Lights, though, Spyro going to be put really low. If you put low, especially in this last phase, you will not make a long amount of time in that blue zone. Spyro going to be behind this crate, trying to survive as long as he can. And now, Yannick and the entirety of no tag team, they have to make it down to get in the center position of this last phase. They have no choice in this game.
I kind of wonder how much damage will they take from trying to jump down the hill. It's going to be very interesting either way. Shots being fired over on the side of Spyro, taking Northern Lights, eliminated in 3rd place. As Fate, he's going behind the areas in Prison. He's using a glove to protection. It's low ground, but it's all members of no tag team firing shots from above. As Fate is going to be able to fire the shots off, but does not get successful. And no tag team take the first chicken dinner of the day.
No tag team.
Wow.
Finally, like yesterday, they struggled a little bit. Now this is the performance they've been looking for. That positioning, the anticipation on where the circle is potentially going to play around. That high ground you mentioned like really early on in that 1st or 2nd phase. And they just put all of their efforts into that to hold in that position against the likes of ELGIGANTEN, Northern Lights, also the other team that was on their left. It was what team was coming on their left? It was BetterLuckNxTime, and then you had the last member that just jumped away.
Airstation Mike as well.
Airstation Mike also, well. And they just held it for so long, and that was what allowed them to get that win. Is just that positioning.
And again, like I haven't really experienced a prison finish in PUBG competitive, so it was really interesting to see how these teams dealt with it. And that high ground just was so prominent, and the man advantage for Northern Lights was so strong overall. As we do go through the highlights of this first game of the day, Istanbul Wildcats lost a member early on, but still went in strong for the majority of this game, as we saw MJ-Esports taking down a couple of members of Jokers.
Yeah, here it is. 4 Kings, the team that went out in last position. Unfortunately, Brute Force, they were shutting down so many rotations. Not full teams, but just like a few peaks left and right that might allow them to just get and grab a few points up in the current overall standings of this Group B. That was when HalloSenpai, that positioning, a very split away from his team, unfortunately getting shut down by the rotation of Istanbul Wildcats. That was also another fight that happened. It was PG-18, and also huge potential E-Hot. He did survive at the end, being the last member. The Blue Zone came on through, and he did get, unfortunately, shut down later on down the line. But E-Hot was one big player in that skirmish. And Tempest, actually, once again, they had a bunch of really good fights this time around, but still not a good positioning overall.
Just not hitting the mark.
Yeah.
Just not hitting the mark for now. But as I said, I have every hope every belief that they can indeed come back stronger than ever throughout these days. Throughout the first 4 days of Group B, at least, in this Phase 3. So this is it. This is no tag team starting to come on board. That fantastic rotation that came out from one member of No Tag Team, forget who exactly, to help put the pressure on to BetterLuckNxTime, secure those 2 frags, and essentially help secure the chicken dinner at the end of the day.
ELGIGANTEN really suffering that last phase. They had to take a decision, or go in the center of the prison or just go for the high ground. They had to take a choice, and unfortunately didn't quite work out. Istanbul Wildcats, they did get taken over at some point by Airstation. It was survived at the end just by that one member of Airstation, Mike, just surviving at the very, very end. They get taken out of the picture. It is, but that rotation, that was what it looked like. Okay. Had no information of whatsoever, but that's completely fine. Northern Lights, good rotation. And that's where ELGIGANTEN, that late rotation, really suffering to get back in a better position.
Yeah, as we kind of talked about, it was kind of choice of either go for the low ground and go into the compounds of prison or go for kind of high ground. They went to try to go for the high ground. It just didn't work out, and it was always going to be tough. But this is the points for the first game of the day, match 5 overall in Group B. 4 Kings and PG18 both getting 0 points.
Yep. Red Foxes also 3 points, and unfortunately for this first game yesterday, really consistent high points and high averages. Not off to a great bang today, but I'm sure that they will catch up for the next games on Miramar. 2 Miramar games, that's going to be great for them. No Tag Team, finally 22 points. I talked about it earlier, they needed a great performance. They start off so well on this second day, and I'm really so happy to see them up there because, as I said earlier, one of my FAF teams, I'm gonna say I'm kind of biased.
Well, they were in 14th place before this game on 15 points. So they've already kind of matched or overtaken their total points in one game alone. But this is the head-to-head between No Tag Team and BetterLuckNxTime. Unfortunately, there is no real comparison. 2,483 damage, bunch of kills. You got to give, again, BetterLuckNxTime. 5 kills as a team. Got second place placement points. Made up for it. Credit is due. Not a strong performance from them.
Give it from a No Tag Team. He was the one member that just split away, did the 3-1 split, and he was trying to really shut down the rotation from ELGIGANTEN. That's what allowed him to get those 5 kills on that 3-man squad at the very, very end. Northern Lights, okay, bro, also very dominant, and that rotation actually in the open ground, I said it was a little bit risky, but that once again, they felt really confident in that position, and that's what allowed them to just get so many kills and really good positioning overall.
Yeah, so you see Marcelek from ELGIGANTEN, top of the table of damage, followed by Icono, okay, bro. Nothing really kind of super standout, like high damage from the first 3 players, and then kind of trickles down from there. But this was the head-to-head stats between No Tag Team, Give It, and ELGIGANTEN Marcelek. 5 kills for Give It, 572 damage, 866 damage from Marcelek. But yeah, with only 1 kill and 1 knock, that conversion rate isn't the super highest. But like at the end of the day, ELGIGANTEN, as I said, overtaking the powerful. They took the powerful roster from Phase 2, renamed, and this is it. And we know what they can do. They're a super aggressive team. They can frag out when they get given a chance. So the damage, not surprises. It's just the kills. It's something that they'll easily improve on, and we'll see it.
Because as you say, kills are prizes in the world of PUBG. Thank you very much for watching this first game on Erangel. Miramar, 2 games coming your way. Just stay around.